Welcome to the Drunken Upholsterer. Today on this episode we're going to talk about single welt cord, and that's a cording that you see around your cushion. It's also used around wings on wing chairs. It's a decorative piece. It always seems to make things look a little nicer, a little richer. And what we're going to do is we're going to just cut straight across this. We're not going on a bias, we're going straight. You want to cut a piece that's roughly 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. I'm using this dark marker so that you can see it, and using a rotary cutter. It's very easy, but if you're using scissors, you have to mark the piece so you have a line to cut down. With a rotary cutter, all you got to do is cut it. And you don't even have to mark it. As for your next piece, just put it out, get your rough measurement. And there you go. And you can cut it just about any length you want. Normally fabric's 54 wide and you'd cut across that unless you were doing the bias. A lot of times you cut on the bias. And what I do with these is, so I know which end is which and where the front is in the back, I mark the back side. So I know that when I sew them together, this end will go on the unmarked end. And then it'll be the same direction all the way through, because you're usually cutting up to 10, 20 pieces. Now if you were cutting on the biased, and you can do this for any size, you basically measure up. This happens to be 11.5 inches. And then you'd go over 11.5 inches and you'd make your mark. And that's the way you would cut. And you would be cutting it like this. Or you'd mark it. And it doesn't matter. This piece could be, normally it's a yard, so you'd be up 3 feet, measure over 3 feet, make your mark, make your cut on the bias. But you use up a lot of fabric that way, which is, unless I need to do that, I don't. I cut it straight like this. And later on we'll be showing you how to sew it together and what you need to do that. Okay, now I'll show you how we're going to make the single welting. First, there's various kinds. This is 4/32. These two are 5/32, and that's pretty much what I use all the time. This is like a foam core. Use it for wet situations like boat cushions or something like that. Or you can use it on anything really, but it works well there. And this is the regular kind of cording I use on most of my furniture. That's the foot. It has a groove cut in it. It allows the cording to go through it without getting crushed, and it guides it. And we'll start by putting the pieces together. Normally you'd have, 5 to 10 of them, maybe even more. And remember our mark. We're going to put the mark up there. So then this mark is going to go on here. Now you could stitch them end to end like that with a straight one. I like to do it on the biased. It spreads the look of the seam a little bit more, so it's not so noticeable. I set my machine when I stitch here on a 6 per inch, which is fairly tight. So when you open it up and you pull it, you don't see the thread, you don't see the cording. It just makes it look nicer. And then you're going to put it together. And that's it, since I'm only doing the one. And then we'll go through. We're going to make sure that's up. We got the right side. So you're going to wrap the fabric around it, pull it over, put it under the foot with the excess fabric going to your right. Come to a seam, you just flatten it out, fold it over, go right over it, keep right on going. And there we go, some nice cording, all ready to get put onto your cushion or what other application you need. As you can see, you normally make up a lot of cord. This particular one, it's going to go on the outside here. It'll get stapled starting down there, and it's going to outline the arm, and it'll come back around, go under that arm, and it's going to go right up the side. This isn't quite ready for it, but it'll go around the back and then come back down on the other side, same thing, and end up here. And we're also going to put it around the base. It's going to go in like that, go around the leg, and go around like that. And when we make the cushion, you can see how it was done before. That's their cording, and I'll remake the cushion, and my cording will be with all new fabric, but it'll be stitched on, and it'll look the same thing when we're done. And that's single cording. I hope you enjoyed the videos on making welt cord double and single, and if you did, give us a thumbs up, and if you want, subscribe, like, comment and subscribe. All right, thank you very much.